It's Brian Preston, the Money Guy.
We got another question from Connor. He says, I'm 25 years old with a $320K income and $100K net worth. He grew up working class. So his question is, how do I overcome the guilt of success and the fear of losing everything? Is it time for a financial advisor? How should he be thinking about this?
So I want to make sure I got those numbers right. He's 25 years old. Mm-hmm. He has a $320,000 income, and he has a $100,000 net worth.
Yes, honestly, it sounds like you're killing it.
Dude, that is a financial mutant through and through. And so the question that Connor has, I want to make sure I have this, is like he's feeling some guilt around being successful and like achieving that so early in life.
And then that fear that like it could all go away. Like what if something happens and he loses everything or his financial situation isn't good anymore? Yeah, like so how does he think through like that psychological piece of success and wealth building?
I think a lot of financially successful people really struggle with this, Brian. We always talk about it because you see this a ton with entrepreneurs, even entrepreneurs that have started businesses that are doing really well. There's always this fear that tomorrow this is going to go away. What if tomorrow my customers stop showing up? What if tomorrow my clients go away? And I don't know that that's a horribly bad thing to have because that fear can kind of keep you motivated. But if we're really going to get down to it, at the very base level, none of us are guaranteed tomorrow. None of us know what tomorrow is going to be, what's going to happen with our financial situation tomorrow, what's going to happen with our job tomorrow, what's going to happen with our health tomorrow. So all we can do is in this moment, do the best that we can to plan for what we hope tomorrow is going to look like. So I would argue if you're 25 years old and you're making $320,000 a year, what I love hearing is that you're not saying, oh man, I'm going to be loaded. I'm going to have plenty of money. I am going to be set. You have a healthy fear. And I would encourage you, focus on while that income is so strong, save so that you can build up a solid financial foundation so that maybe if in your 30s or your 40s, you're not at that same income level, your future self will thank your current self for exercising the discipline required to build wealth by deferring your gratification into the future and capitalizing on a savings rate with a really healthy income. We see this all the time, Brian, with athletes who don't recognize that. I know you said you've had like personal experience with that in the past.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to be very purposeful in your actions, and that's what as I was seeing these, I think they're interconnected, and I'll get all philosophical. I'm the older one here. Got more life events that have happened, so it gives me a little depth that I love to kind of share some things. And one of the things I always think about, and maybe it's because I'm a big fan, you see the Apple iPod over my shoulder. It's even got the magazine where Steve Jobs was announcing that iPod. And I always think about what else would Steve Jobs have done if he was here? Because he was such even move outside of Apple and you could think of Pixar, and then I bring that internal, and I know my grandfather passed away on my dad's side when he was 50, and then my father passed away at 55. And I'm like, man, no day is promised to me. And I've actually used that. Now, a lot of people would say, YOLO, you need to go out there and enjoy life. But I actually feel much more purposeful with every day since it's not promised. I better get busy from a legacy standpoint, from a productivity standpoint of just feeling like I'm part of something bigger and better and I'm making the world a better place. So that's why I think these two things are interconnected. First of all, guilt. If you have guilt, there's ways to, just like we talk about the abundance cycle, we talk about being very purposeful. There's nothing wrong with you saving and building and investing that money and building wealth. But you also need to be thinking about, am I doing things in a very good way? Meaning, I'm generous with my time if I don't have money. If I do have money and you have resources, am I being generous with my resources also? Because I do think there is an element of, hey, if you're blessed with the ability and talents that you can generate a lot of money, go out there and be fruitful with it. Actually let that be something that you can pay it forward. It doesn't mean you have to give away everything, but I do think you can put some purpose to it so that you have some fulfillment that's tied to this talent that you have that's actually obviously bearing a really strong income. As for the going away, I actually think this is one of those desired difficulties that I see entrepreneurs and other high producers have I've experienced this my whole life. As I started making good money, I was like, man, it is going away. But I think that is also, that fear is what hopefully keeps you always trying to be better and do things better and not take it for granted, so that you're purposeful and actually save, build, have something to show for all this that you've created. That's how I handle this. And that's why that's part of the engine for the financial order of operations, is that I want you to have that good balance of being very purposeful for building wealth, but also knowing that life is not promised in a way so that you are building those memories, but also you're doing something that will have some type of legacy. Look, 2 generations from now, nobody will even probably really remember much about Steve Jobs, but I still think that you can be purposeful about what does this say about you and how you can make this a legacy, fulfilled, and also feel like you're part of something bigger than you.